Dr. Stone and Matthew Kowalski are the sole survivors of the SDS-157.
You need to detach! Dr. Stone, do you copy?
Rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX 3D.
Hello, I'm the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. Many thrillers in recent years have relied on claustrophobia, or the fear of enclosed spaces, to ramp up the scares. Today I'm talking about a film that uses the opposite approach, agoraphobia, that is the fear of open spaces, to fantastic effect. That film is Alfonso Cuarón's Gravity. Set nearly entirely in outer space, Gravity is the story of two astronauts, Dr. Stone and Lieutenant Kowalski, played by Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. An otherwise routine mission takes a violent turn when their space shuttle is struck by a storm of debris, leaving them the only two survivors. With their ride home destroyed and contact with Earth disabled, Stone and Kowalski must try to reach a nearby space station in an effort to escape before their oxygen runs out. I'll start off by talking about what everyone else has praised about this film, the visuals, especially the 3D. If there was ever a film that deserved to be seen in 3D, it's this one. The scenes of the astronauts trying to survive in space are simply nail-biting. The space vehicles and space stations are nothing short of photorealistic. Never at any point did I not feel like I could just reach out and grab them. And that's a key aspect of the film, the portrayal of microgravity. I don't think I've ever seen a more convincing portrayal of weightlessness on film in my life. Not only is there no sound in the spacewalk sequences aside from the characters' voices, but the filmmakers flawlessly simulate the feel of drifting uncontrollably, of trying desperately to hold on to whatever you can. And that, I think, is what makes space so fascinating a place. It's the most beautiful environment you'll ever see, but it's also the most deadly. All that being said, I must say, as gorgeous and as thrilling as this film is, the story is a touch too straightforward. The main characters are pretty typical for this type of film, and while Bullock does manage to at least partially rise above that material, Clooney just always seems to be playing George Clooney. Imagine that. Also, the film is based entirely around the two of them trying to escape to Earth, and there are no real character arcs or underlying themes throughout the film. This film actually sort of reminds me of Cuarón's previous film, Children of Men. While that did have many underlying themes, Children of Men also emphasized fast-paced thrills at the expense of character development. The only time Gravity really comes close to having a deeper meaning is in a scene where Bullock reaches the safety of a space station and strikes a pose that is meant to resemble a child in the womb. I enjoy the symbolism of being encased in a safe environment, but the scene went on for a touch too long and was rather out of place because the rest of the film doesn't have anything like that. But honestly, I think the lack of strong themes is kind of a strength rather than a weakness. At the end of the day, this film isn't about having a deeper meaning or sending any kind of message. It's about survival. Before I give my rating, I should probably acknowledge some of the controversy this film is generating, mainly the accusations of sexism. Some have complained that Bullock's character is constantly screaming and hyperventilating while Clooney is very calm and collected. I don't agree with those sentiments because I think it actually makes sense for Bullock to be more panicked than Clooney. For starters, it's explained that Bullock is on her first trip into space while Clooney is a veteran astronaut. I know some will say Bullock's character must have gone through rigorous training to be allowed to go into space, and that would be true, but I'm fairly certain NASA doesn't have a way to simulate the sensation nor the emotions of being thrust helplessly into the vacuum of space. So yeah, there's that. Now for my rating, which are going to be a little different from now on. From this point on, I will give different ratings for different groups of people. I give Gravity a big screen in 3D, but only for people who can stand to watch 3D movies. For those of you who cannot, I still give it a big screen, as the visuals will both dazzle and terrify you. I'm the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. Goodbye.